What's happening there, guys, and welcome back to our channel. The Kardashian-Jenner family always has something interesting going on in their lives that catches the eye of the media. After Bruce Jenner's transition, things have always been tense between the Kardashians and Caitlyn Jenner, and this time, Caitlyn Jenner's mom calls out the Kardashians. Number 5. Bruce Jenner's transition. If you don't know who Bruce Jenner is, you must have heard of the name Caitlyn Jenner. Bruce went through a gender transformation and became the woman that he is today, changing his name to Caitlyn Jenner once the transition was complete. Bruce Jenner is the father of the famous Jenner sisters Kendall and Kylie Jenner, and seems to have always maintained a loving and caring relationship with the Kardashian sisters as well, giving them the fatherly role they needed in their life. Throughout the transition, all the Kardashian-Jenner siblings tried their best to be extremely supportive and understand everything that Bruce was going through. Caitlyn has been pretty open about her sexuality and is always willing to answer any questions that the family has. In an episode, all the sisters sat down with Caitlyn to ask her questions, and Caitlyn admitted that out of all the things she's done in her life, transitioning was also something that she thinks God intended for her. Moreover, throughout the episode, we can see Khloe Kardashian talking about how she wants Caitlyn to be in the body she's comfortable with, and that she's in complete favor of whatever is happening. While Kendall and Kylie seem to be taking more time adjusting to the situation, it seems like the Kardashian sisters are trying their best to make sure Caitlyn doesn't go through anything negative throughout the whole process. Number 4. Kris Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner's feud. Despite the Kardashian-Jenners trying their best to make sure that Caitlyn feels comfortable in her body and to be supported throughout the transition process, there's one person that the transition has taken a great toll on. Kris Jenner seems to be the most affected by the transition, and there seems to be a lot of tension between her and Caitlyn. However, Kris has tried her best to be supportive, but it seems like there have been some instances where things got the better of her, and Kris has been unable to hide the side of her that's affected by Bruce's transition to Caitlyn. However, with Caitlyn Jenner releasing her book, there's been a lot of drama that came alongside it. Throughout the book, Caitlyn can be seen putting the blame on Kris Jenner for a lot of things, and even goes to the extent of saying that Kris Jenner knew all along that Caitlyn was a transgender. After reading Caitlyn's book, Kris seemed to be pretty hurt and even angry at Caitlyn putting the blame on her, in spite of Caitlyn trying to be as supportive as she could. Kris goes to the point of saying that Caitlyn just wants to paint her as the bad person, and she is done with the whole situation. Number 3. Caitlyn Jenner's mom calls out the Kardashians. Naturally, with so much anger and unresolved tension between Kris Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner, it's inevitable for some of that tension to be transferred to other family members as well. Ever since the book got released, it's been pretty obvious that Kim Kardashian is no longer fond of Caitlyn Jenner, and it seems like some of that tension has rubbed off on Caitlyn Jenner's mom as well. Let's see what she had to say about the Kardashians and the reality TV show. Even before Caitlyn Jenner opened up about being a transgender, it seems like Caitlyn's mom, Esther Jenner, and Kris Jenner never got along. In a 2014 interview, Esther Jenner called Kris Jenner out, stating that she is a controlling monster. Not only did she call Kris a monster, she also said that Kris Jenner doesn't treat anybody well. She also went on to say that not only did Kris cheat on Robert Kardashian, she also cheated on Caitlyn Jenner and didn't play a role in raising Kendall or Kylie. According to Esther Jenner, Kris even bath-mouthed Caitlyn's children from her previous marriages. Lastly, Esther's resentment for Kris Jenner is obvious from the fact that she said Kris should change her name back to Kardashian because she doesn't want Kris to carry the Jenner name. Number 2. Senseless TV. After Esther Jenner was excluded from the Kardashians' reality TV show, she seems to have an even more bitter attitude towards the family. Esther went on to say that she hasn't seen anything more senseless. However, she also added her granddaughters Kylie Jenner and Kendall Jenner created the show and she loves them. At first, when the Kardashians signed the deal with Hulu for the reality TV show, it was revealed that Esther was pretty ecstatic about the deal. However, when she later found out through the press that she was excluded from the show, her attitude seemed to have changed and she became even more resentful towards the Kardashian family. Number 1. Making matters worse. While Esther Jenner does seem to have some sort of resentment towards Kris Jenner, she has not shown any such discrimination towards the Kardashian sisters. Esther says that the Kardashian sisters, while they may not be her blood, feel like family to her. However, in addition to Esther Jenner not being part of the Kardashian TV show, Caitlyn and Esther were not invited to Kourtney's wedding with Travis Barker, and this seems to have made things worse for the Jenner grandmother. Well, here's everything you guys need to know about the news regarding Caitlyn Jenner's mom calling out the Kardashians. Do you think her reasons were justified? Whether or not you think so, let us know your opinion in the comments down below, and do be sure to like this video and subscribe for more such content.